Welcome to another episode of FAQ Mondays, episode number 193. To be exact, that's a lot of questions, it's a lot of episodes. And I just want to say thanks for watching, because without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I mean, I'd probably still get questions, but maybe if I didn't videotape them, that's not even a thing. Why did I say videotape? I'm old. That's how you show your age, is saying things like videotape. Does anybody even know what videotape is? Or am I completely out of touch? I am going off on a really big, I just went over the dad cliff. I apologize ahead of time. First question, thoughts on the sword? I absolutely love me some sword. I get told that my riffs sound very sword inspired a lot, which is okay with me because I dig the sword. I've loved them ever since they came out. They just have the nastiest, awesomest riffs, and they're not quite stoner rock, and they're not quite like a New Orleans kind of a thing, and they're not quite a 70s thing. They're all those things combined into their own unique things. I am such a huge sword fan. Cannot be understated. I'm super excited for the new album to come out. Yeah, I'm still listening to Warp Riders and High Country, and yeah, I have all those on vinyl as well. Yeah, big fan of the sword. If you don't know who the sword is, definitely check them out. They're awesome. When writing a song or riff, how do you go about determining the tempo it is going to be at? So I used to just kind of feel it, and whatever the riff was, I would just let it tell me what the tempo is. But ever since I saw the Foo Fighters documentary, Back and Forth, a few years ago, Dave Grohl talks about when he was writing, I think the song is called Enough Space, or My Poor Brain. I think it was My Poor Brain is what he was writing. And he pictured the European audiences on how they bounce up and down. They don't mosh, they just jump up and down. And he pictured the audience and at what tempo the audience would be jumping up and down at, and then wrote an applicable riff to that tempo. That's kind of what I do now. Now that Rest Repose tours and plays shows and stuff like that, I always picture, how is this riff gonna go over, and how is this going to be in the moment when you're in front of a bunch of people or in a really hot, sweaty club? What is this gonna sound like or feel like? That actually has a lot to do with how I write a riff. Now, if I'm just feeling it here in the studio, I already know just by experience that it's gonna be way too slow, and I will bump it up a solid 5 to 10 BPM after I'm done writing it, and then present it to the band. Because my natural inclination is to just write something too slow. I don't know why. And then I'll always hear it back and go, man, that's slow. But yeah, just picture a crowd jumping up and down, man. Works for Dave. It's good enough for Dave. It's good enough for me, man. What is the hardest English word to pronounce? Black Star. Haha. That's the hardest word. Any chance of a Rest Repose tab book? We do get that request from time to time. I feel like we don't necessarily warrant a tab book because we feel like our stuff is super simple, and maybe the new stuff will warrant a tab book. The new stuff is pretty different from the old stuff. Also, I don't know how to do that. Like, do you just literally sit down? Like, how would I write? Do I handwrite the tab? I'm not really good at Guitar Pro, so I don't know what the steps would be that I would need to take to do a tab book. I don't know. I've never done a tab book. I don't know how to do a tab book. So, yeah, I guess we just never have done a tab book because we just don't know how to get there, I guess, is the best way to put it. You know, it's cool that people ask for it, and the guitarists always ask for it. We get asked that on tour all the time, but I don't know, like, where do you go to get a tab book? Like, who do you contact? Do you do it yourself? Do they do it and then you approve it? Like, I don't know how this works. You tell me. And now, Fluff reads a tweet. You ever have a random theme song from an 80s movie get stuck in your head randomly? Or am I just having a seizure? My suggestion to you this week is to check out the album Cold by Gideon. I recently had the pleasure of seeing Gideon live, and I was blown away, and that made me go and check out all their other stuff. I have heard them in the past, kind of in passing. In the tour van, I think some of their stuff got played, and it was really cool. And then I went back to sleep, kind of a thing. I saw them live the other night, playing with my friends in Norma Jean, and they were amazing. Unbelievable live show. They brought it. Every song was just like the heaviest and most brutal, groovy thing ever, and I thought I would tell you guys about them as well. Cold, great album. The entire catalog should be celebrated. Gideon, just check it out. All the links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.